Hello, everyone. This is Dr. John Waterman. Welcome to Simply Your Health. And this broadcast is being brought to you through Argusoog.org, ArgusoogRadio. We've been talking a lot about, going to farmers markets and supporting the local food source. And a lot of you understand that food's going up pretty fast. Extremely fast. In fact, we'll talk more about commodity prices, particularly food, tomorrow, and how rapidly they're going. Some of the prices, it isn't unusual to see a 25% increase in food prices here in the United States in some categories over the last couple months. Now that's a lot. How would you like to make 25% on your money in 2 months? That'd be pretty good, wouldn't it? Well, you've all heard it. You are what you eat. So the prevalent use of pesticides and hormones and antibiotics in many of our foods today is a mess. It's not surprising that organic choices are becoming more popular and that more than 70% of the consumers now have at least one organic product on their shopping list. Now that's pretty amazing, folks. While organic foods may be healthier, you have to admit they can be expensive. So that's what I want to talk about today. So get you a pen and paper out, because this is going to be really, really important. I'm going to give you some hard facts on feet on the ground, where the rubber meets the road for the ground crew, information when you're buying organic foods. Like I said, they can have this sickening effect on your budget. Farming foods without pesticides and chemicals can ultimately cost 50 to 100% more than other conventional methods. So understand that the people growing it that give it to you or sell it to you already have a 50 to double the amount in cost of preparation. That's expensive. So I'm going to give you some tips on how to shop organic food on a budget. And so here we go. First, I want you to prioritize. Well, how do you do that? Well, if you have these budget constraints like I'm having, you put your money toward organic options to replace certain foods that have the highest level of contamination. And therefore, you're removing the foods that pose the greatest threat. So we want you to know what those are. Some foods are known to have the least amount of pesticide residue, so buy the ones that are the least likely to have pesticide residue on the conventional grocery store list. They'll be cheaper. How do you know what they are? We're going to go over those. You may go, well, or I hope you're eating organic. I eat mostly organic. We know that it's expensive. Can you imagine how sick I might be? I might not even be here if I wasn't drinking filtered water, adding that sea salt to my diet, natural organic sugars, which are a great part of our life, organic wheat. We make our own bread. Susan makes the bread for us. And, of course, the food from Simply Your Food at my website is about 80% of it's organic. It's not going to be certified. It just costs too much, and everybody that buys it would end up having to pay for it. I eat no MSG, no GMO, and I still got this problem. Many have suggested that maybe it was an attack. Well, it might have been. I happened to be in a foreign country doing an operation one time and got stuck by a needle in a crowded airport. And we're not sure exactly what I got. So one of the things, folks, that happens And one of the things we must remind ourselves is you might not be well when you are eating and taking supplements and doing the right thing, but imagine how bad it would be if you weren't. Wow. So consider healthier alternatives on your shopping list. Organic meats and eggs can be the most expensive given the price of organic feed. Okay? That means that they're going to cost a lot. So natural farming for meat and eggs is expensive. Now, we have somebody in our circle that is wonderful people. They've made available some eggs from their farm. And you can probably find some organic eggs if you do eggs. Make sure you try and shop sales. Keep an eye open for annual, regional, seasonal sales. And buy, like if they're selling, by the way, most of the health food stores, they don't have the plastic lined canned food. There's this liner in Libby's and Del Monte and all these other canned foods that puts these plastic chemicals in the food, and they're toxic. Health foods suppliers don't do that. Organic suppliers don't use that. It's a little more expensive. What they do usually is some kind of enamel, but it's what costs. It keeps you that much more well, I should say. And to stretch your dollars, consider purchasing antibiotic-free and hormone-free meats, even if you can't afford the organically grown. So try and find it without all the hormones. Same with milk. I don't recommend milk, but if you do milk and you can't get almond milk, that's all we do. Do it with hormone-free, antibiotic-free cows. And like I said, shop the sales. There's usually weekly circulars you can get. And stock up on those that are on sale. You can freeze tomatoes. Did you know that? Whole tomatoes, you can freeze them. So you can buy a few things that you can use later. With the growing popularity of these organic foods, co-ops are coming on the scene, and I'll have to upgrade my list in my download box. I have a co-op list for all over the United States. I don't have one for Europe, but I have a co-op association organization list for all the states that have one on my website, the Waterman Files. But community-supported agriculture, which is CSAs, I don't know if you've heard of CSA programs, it allows you to purchase directly from the farmer. Now, if you subscribe to them, here's what you can do. By the way, if you need to check out the farmer's market, go to localharvest.org. localharvest.org. And if you're trying to find a farmer's market, you should be able to start with links there to finding a place to go. But if you go to somebody that does what they call CSA, you can pay them ahead of time for a whole year of crops. Now, sometimes you're going to get more. Sometimes you'll get less, depending on the year. They know that they have to supply their families with enough food to fill their table with what comes out of their organic garden. So they don't always take new people because they're limited on how much they can get done. But you're going to pay ahead of time to get that done so they can pay up front for all the seeds and makes it less expensive for them. And they can get all the tools ready to produce for you, and you just go to the farmer's market and pick up your package on a regular basis, however often you arrange to do that. And what's nice about eating that way is you get the foods that are in season, and the body seems to be in rhythm with seasonal foods, folks. There's a rhythm to nature. You're going to be eating more greens and veggies and fruits in the summer when your blood needs to be thinner and cooler. And in the winter, you'll be eating heavier foods that thickens the blood and keeps you warmer. So the natural occurrence of foods from your farmer's market will be just in time. It'll be perfect for you. Those are called community-supported agriculture. Then, of course, many of the supermarkets are adding an organic line to their already existing big chain stuff. So we don't go to big chains. We don't go to Walmart or anything like that. Now, this enables some of the private label companies to show up and allows you to purchase organic foods at a discount from the health food store. Well, hopefully you've got your paper and your pen. I'm going to go over I'm going to give you your priority list. Here's your shopping list, folks, of what you should buy organic first and what you should buy conventional. So if you can afford it all, go for it, your whole thing, if you can. But it's really important that you prioritize your list. If you can't and don't think you can afford it, try doing some of the things on the first part of this, what I call buy organic list. Okay, first. Do that first. Baby food. Try and get organic. Milk. Oh, man. Try and get organic. That's even a dangerous thing right now. Folks, if I were to, if you're going to do milk and if it's not radioactive, where from, then get organic. There's a lot of reasons why. In the meantime, I would just recommend you do almond milk. Some of you have probably done rice milk, but I prefer the texture, the consistency, and flavor of almond milk. And it's very alkaline, too. Here's a list of the fruits and vegetables that you want to get organic because they're the most compromised when it comes to pesticides and toxins. Here it is. You ready? Apples, blueberries, grapes, peaches, strawberries. Now those 5 things right there, apples, blueberries, grapes, peaches, and strawberries, if you're going to get them, they're the most compromised fruit and the most toxic. So go get organic. I'm going to tell you, you're going to pay an arm and a leg for strawberries. But you might as well get it poison-free, right? Here's the vegetables that you absolutely should be getting organic. I'm just trying to make this easier for the budget, okay? Bell peppers, celery, potatoes, and spinach. Now, we have those in a can, and most likely they'll do what you need to do. We've got celery and a variety of different types of potato sources and bell peppers. And this shouldn't be expensive for you because you don't use that much of that usually. You don't use a lot of celery. Potatoes are cheap, so get organic ones. We get these little finger potatoes, and they're kind of really small. They're not much longer than your finger, maybe 2 fingers thick. And of course, we slice them and we roast them, and they have an almond flavor, and they can be seasoned, and you can have a lot of really interesting comments with this dark yellow almond colored finger potato that you can get at farmers markets. And don't forget, they can provide you with those potatoes even after the farmers markets close for the year because they can be preserved real easy. Now, the things that you can get conventionally that won't be so toxic would be asparagus and cabbage and corn, onions and eggplants, peas and sweet potatoes, which are different than white potatoes or regular potatoes. The fruits that you can get that won't be problems are avocados, bananas, cantaloupe, honeydew melons, kiwis, mangoes, pineapple, and watermelon. Did you notice that many of those have this really, really thick skin? Many of those are thick-skinned as far as, the fruit's concerned, so it must protect it some more. Hey, if you need some more help on that list and didn't get them all down, just contact me. Just go to Simply Your Health and click on the Contact tab, and I'll send it to you. Just contact us. In fact, you can call us if you want. You can call us at our toll-free number, 866-251-7511. Let me give it to you again. 866-251-7511. I think you'll be happy you at least tried to do some things for you and your family. It's important, isn't it, that we try and get rid of the poison. And we'll be right back after we listen to Time Will Tell. We'll be right back.
Dit is ArgusoogRadio.